Can you improve your RV's AC performance by 30 to 40%? I think so. Today we'll walk you through a simple and inexpensive mod you can do to help your RV's AC performance. Spoiler alert, this mod is for our Coleman Mach 15,000 BTU air conditioning unit. It uses simple tools, a Lowe's or Home Depot's project foam board, and only takes a couple of hours to complete. That is, if you're a little bit of a perfectionist like myself. Now, the total cost for the mod was $6, which is the cost of the project foam board from Lowe's. We already had the H-Vac tape and all of the tools. Okay, one of the first things we're going to do is turn off the AC unit. And hopefully you can see it says off. We're going to give it a minute or two for everything to cycle down, and then we're going to get started on our little project, which will be a modification of the plenum on the inside of this Coleman 15,000 BTU unit. So I've compiled an assortment of odds and ends. You can see over here is H-Vac tape. We'll use that on creating the new plenum, tape measure, marker, ruler, a drill. And we're going to change the bit from the standard Phillips to the Phillips square, kind of a Canadian bit, but it seems to work really good. Screwdriver, of course, an assortment of drill bits and ends, which will have the square bit in there, and the good old GoPro cameras. So to start with, we're going to go ahead and remove the filter covers and the filters to access 4 screws that hold this cover on. So to begin with, take the filter covers off. Remove the filters. These just happen to be real clean because this unit hasn't been used in a while and it's just starting to warm up here in Arizona. And now you can see the screws that we need to get to be able to take this cover off. We've already taken a picture of which way the cover faces so that we'll know when we go to put it back on. So let's test and see which one of these screwdrivers works the best. There it is. So I'm going to cheat. And use a little bit of power. Try to be real careful not to strip it. And that's the plenum cover. Now that it's down, there's several other screws we're going to have to remove to get everything taken care of. Now, one of the things I like to do whenever I'm taking something apart is take pictures along the way, just so that I know exactly how it goes back together. Never completely trust my memory. So, switch cameras. this up this way, take a shot of it, and a shot of me. Alright, now we should have 4 more screws. Looks like maybe 5. That's odd. But we'll take them out and go from there. Now all these screws are exactly the same. Well, let's take this one out first. So you can mix and match. You're not going to have to worry about it. Just remember, this is light plastic. You want to be real careful not to allow it to flip too far in one direction. Ah, even more screws. I would have got carried away, but it's okay. We have the technology. Wow, it stayed right there. You want to remember, that's why I took the picture of which way this goes. Not like that, or like that, or like this, but like that. One of the things I wanted to point out is that up inside, the only thing that they've got going for them to divide the air is this particular pad. And there are gaps along the edge that allow airs to escape and come back in. Sometimes when these are pulled out, you'll actually see that they've been tipped at an odd angle just from traveling or going down the road, because they're not stuck in there other than just by a pressure fit. And then the air isn't getting taken care of the way it's supposed to. So this is one of the things we're going to change. We'll remove this, and we're going to use our project board to create a whole new plenum. If you look straight up there, you can see the squirrel cage. And that is what directs the air from the unit to come down and go into these vents to hit the racetrack system. This is the return over here. And this is where the air comes back in and then goes up and recirculates through. Next thing is we're going to replace this piece with a section of our project board. And let me show you the way this was made. Notice it's nice and snug. And it's basically a piece of super thick felt-like material with H-Vac tape on the back side, on the return side, and we're going to, they used a little bit of, kind of like weather stripping, I'm not sure exactly what it is, it's just foam strips, to take up for the distance to come across here. So this is our chance to do a little bit of measuring. And one of the things that we want to do when we're building this is we're going to run it down through here on both sides, and we're going to make sure that it's about an inch off of the base of this, because that's where we're going to add a bottom piece that goes completely around it. We're going to have a bottom piece that will come across, and that bottom piece needs to be flush with this part, this lip on the frame that holds the unit to the roof of the AC. So we're going to measure it 1 inch, because that's the thickness of the foam, from the top of this piece, which would be for your camera view right there. You can see there's the lip edge right there, and 1 inch up would be right there. going to do the same on both sides, just so that I've got it. And once I've done that, I can measure the distance, which is 4 1/4 inches. See if it's the same on both sides. 4 3/16. See if that's closer. 4 3/16. So we'll mark that down. And then we want to measure the width, which is going to be what looks like 14 inches. I've gone ahead and shoved up inside. And the next thing I want to do is I need to cut a piece that comes from here, this edge, right here, down to this edge right here. And it's going to be the width of this section. And I'm going to cut this one on a bias, about a 45-degree angle, because the piece is going to fit in here, similar to that, but not block this duct or block this exhaust duct up here. So that'll be the first thing we do, and then we'll cut a similar one that will go back on this side as well. So next for that, let's do a little bit of measuring. There. There is about 5.5 inches. Pretty doggone close. And then from here to here, about 8 1/8. Mark that down. Okay, so now we've designed the foam to where it is going to pretty much direct air to come straight down, and we've created a floor so that the air can move smoothly across. And what's going to happen is right square in the center of this exhaust duct, where it goes throughout the RV and it gets directed throughout the different vent areas, this will split it so that half will go to each side the way it should go. And this will just go back up inside, and then it's ready to go. Now we have the base with a little teepee pyramid that's on it to split off the airflow going down out into the ductwork. Yeah, honey, come on out. And we've got the side section set up here to separate the intake from the exhaust to hopefully make it a much more efficient system. So now we've got the new plenum that we've created in position. It's all taped off with duct tape, kind of H-Vac tape, the foil back stuff. And all we need to do is put the other parts back on, close it up, and give it a try, see how it works. Once done, we noticed a marked improvement in airflow through the system, not to mention that with the new plenum, the unit was noticeably quieter. The only drawback, if you could call it that, is that the dump vents on the main register will be rendered inoperative and should just remain closed. We've never used this feature, and with the improved output at the vents, see no need for it now. Your mileage may vary. Now, if you decide that it wasn't worth the work, it will only take you about 10 minutes to take it back to factory specs. When you're doing the mod, don't forget to clean up any loose obstructions in the airflow, like bundling wires out of the way and taping over any areas where the cold air may be leaking back into the return duct. We'll leave a couple of links to different videos on how to do this particular mod in the Show More notes below.